I've certainly enjoyed it. It's probably been one of the most stimulating things I've ever done professionally. And there are many reasons why I say that, but amongst them is that I can tell that as we've travelled, whether it's because we've been lucky or whether it's because of our voice, the number of people that want to listen and engage with us about how you solve this problem has risen significantly. And as we draw to a close, I'm reasonably confident that a number of our initiatives will at least get serious discussion at the appropriate global organisations. It would be a bit foolhardy of me to believe that all our recommendations will be actually agreed and implemented, but they're certainly going to be discussed. And I perhaps a bit inappropriately, but nonetheless I'll say it, I kind of think that if we wouldn't have existed, then we wouldn't be at this stage of international diplomacy about AMR. Let me just say a couple of things here. I mean, I could spend hours talking about this, but I'll try to be concise. Firstly, in order for solutions to be agreed and implemented, every participant that's crucial has to kind of get out of the comfort zone because previously they haven't, and that's why we have a problem. And that's true for policymakers, it's true for pharmaceutical companies, it's true for food producers, it's true for 7 billion citizens that treat these things like sweets. So there's got to be change by everybody, otherwise I've been wasting my time. I think it's up to policymakers to decide. What we've put on the table with what is close to 30 recommendations, and on this particular aspect, at least 4, it's now for policymakers to choose what is the best for all the conflicting interests, including, of course, what would be likely opposition by the pharmaceutical industry to having something imposed on them. Very last thing to say on it, however, one of the reasons why this is an option that's worthy of consideration, the pharmaceutical industry cannot pursue and continue to pursue many of the things it's doing if we don't get new antibiotics. And so they themselves have this sort of classic free rider problem that they have a responsibility to help solve. I think on all the various options to do with how you get the money devoted to AMR, the G20 meeting, which as a finite limit, which will end in, I think it's the 3rd week of September, is when we expect or hope for action. Now, the way these things work, the so-called Sherpa meetings take place beforehand, and that process has already started, so I know there is some preliminary discussions that have already taken place.
In fact, in that exclusive conversation with ET Now in London, Lord Jim O'Neill highlighted that India has a crucial role to play in combating global drug resistance, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi has extended out his support to the cause.
So another reason why I'm so excited about what we've been doing, including as we come to an end, is the remarkable number of supportive quotes that our recommendations are receiving from all over the world, crucially including Prime Minister Modi. And from what I can see, that is a pretty strong statement that Prime Minister Modi is regarding the antimicrobial resistance threat as seriously as he needs to. The whole reason I was asked to do this is partly because of my historical reputation as being a friend of the emerging world, and for, of course, having dreamt up the so-called BRICS acronym. And if India doesn't think about the AMR challenge as central to its overall goal of improving health, then India will never get to the exciting potential it otherwise will get. What is very encouraging is that Prime Minister Modi seems to be very aware of that. You know, I think the way for the Indian public to think about the antimicrobial resistance challenge is primarily not as another challenge on top of all the other.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.